take him with me occasionally, but I forget he's with me. I think, oh, I'll take him out on location, but I forget he's
Yeah.
there. And my granddaughter saw him in my bag. She said, "No, why are you traveling with your teddy bear?"
Yeah.
So
So
I didn't reply, but Frankie does get around, but I forget he's with me.
we are live now here at Francis
Yeah.
Media. Thank you everyone for joining us for this special edition of Royal News Live. We obviously always coming to talk about what has been going on in our Royals world. It is the weekend here in the UK. Saturday should be Sunday where you are, Catherine.
Yes, it's
Once again, thank you so much for coming on, despite being very early in Australia. We appreciate your time. Yes, we have our other member, Aspi, who will
yeah,
be joining us somewhere down the line
yeah,
when she finished with sorting things out. I think right
yeah.
now in United States, it's what I like to call the rush hour.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, but she will join us when she is ready. Catherine, how are you?
Really, really good. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
It's
Have I got my water? Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. How are things going? Is the weather nice? Is everything good?
It's look, I like the rain. I don't like the
Mm,
wind, but
mm,
I will say it's just a light drizzle at the moment. It was raining
mm,
all night. It's really pleasant. Everything is wet. Everything is lush. It's just,
mm.
I mean, it's messy in winter, isn't it? Your garden and your yard gets really messy, but we're obviously meant to have a lot of rain because the earth just seems to soak it up. It's
Yes.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen to me. So I'm just saying it's a really lovely medium. There's no stormy weather. It's just lovely light rain and overcast, beautiful.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. Australia is everybody's dream weather-wise. And
Yeah.
that last time you told me it was quite wintry. It was very cold, and I just couldn't imagine a cold.
No. Well, the bottom line is we do live in paradise. I'm not going to deny it, but and I do get the giggles when you say that. You say, but I just think it's all palm trees over there. It actually, especially where I am, it is because Australia is on the coastline. We all live on the coast. So
Mm,
the heart of Australia is not habitable, you know. So, yeah, I can understand the disconnection for someone who doesn't live here.
yes. So we have got Joe on here. Aspi, thank you for
Hi,
joining
Joe.
us. Yes. Who else have we got? Let me see. Joe, can I ask you to be a moderator for this live, please, if you don't mind? Because I know that Aspi will be joining us very soon. So if you're going to stay a bit longer, Joe, give me a thumbs up in the comments if you don't mind being a moderator for our live stream tonight, because it might be very easy for you to there to check in on any comments that we might miss while having a conversation. We tend to get caught up, don't we, Catherine?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, I think you're pretty good though. You have a good sense with your audience. You do tend to check in, but it can get past us when we're really on a roll.
Yes, yes, please. I'll wait for Jo to give us a thumbs up if she is going to be about for some time so I can activate the moderator button there. What does that mean? I don't mind, but I'm in bed and may not be. Okay, all right, yeah. Brilliant. Thank you for letting me know you might be in bed. So, moderator is usually someone who goes through the comments, and if there are any comments that might not sit well with the live stream and has some words that might be picked up as harmful, stuff like that, you delete those comments or you raise them to us so we are aware. So Lisa is here. Lisa, how are you? Good to see you. Lisa, are you okay with being a moderator? Are you going to be on for long tonight? If yes, please let me know and I activate the button so you can moderate the comments for us. I'll be a moderator. I'm pretty good at keeping with the... Okay, right. Okay, thank you, Aspi, for that. So I will activate Aspi here as a moderator. See, can manage, stand, can view here. Okay. In timeout. Okay. Yes, so I've activated that button for you, Aspe. Right. Here we go, Catherine. Where should we
Just,
start from?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot going on with this Andrew
Yes, yes.
scandal. Oh my gosh. He just never goes away, that guy. And
Yeah,
I've just noticed something. And then Harry gets brought into it as well because that's better, just a contrast. Then Harry gets brought into it as well because he denied punching him. Well, we all know he did. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you want to
Lisa,
start with the whales or?
1 minute, Catherine. Lisa, I have also added you as a moderator as well in case Aspi jumps in later on and joins us. But
Hi,
you,
Bunny.
yeah, you can also moderate. Hi, Bonnie. Good to see you. Thank you, everybody. Right, yes, Catherine, what were you saying? Sorry.
Oh, well, it's just, I mean, I just, I was wondering about this Andrew scandal this morning because well, we expected it because we knew the Andrew Loney book was coming.
Mm,
But what's the solution? Because the guy is essentially, he's not a working royal. He has a title, but he's a private citizen. So
mm.
what is the solution for the royal family apart from sending him to Qatar or to Alaska? Send him to Alaska. So I don't. What do you think? Is there any solution with someone like that? The royal family has to have some kind of process in place that mitigates these this level of scandal. Because this level of scandal with Andrew and
Yeah,
Sarah, it's
yeah.
so bad.
It is bad. It is bad. And I tell you what, Catherine, there is always going to be someone like that in the family. Always.
Okay.
I have my family back home, and we have somebody in the families that is very complicated. They are the ones always caught up in controversy. They are the ones that are naughty on that side. We hear again somebody is launching an investigation against them. They are caught up in all sorts of things. And those people will always stay in the family. And the first step to actually finding a solution is to acknowledge that those people are there. So they are there, you acknowledge them, and you sort of try and find out from them what they need from you in terms of supporting them to become a good person, to integrate in the society positively. I think that's the first solution. But the more you ignore those people and you isolate them, you don't want to bring them close, the more they will feel very left out, and the more they are more susceptible to getting lost in the world in their activities. So, for the royal family here, I think the best way is to try and sit as a royal family in these meetings and devise ways in which they can support these two individuals, including Prince Harry. And they just can't pretend that those people are not there. They are going to ignore them. They simply can't, because otherwise things are going to get worse. So I know that the king has said no Andrew appearances for, royal engagement. So, at the balcony where all royals come up, and so they've already sort of isolated him from events like those. But they are doing it because they don't want that backlash of people saying, look, you're dining with a sinner, you're dining with, you see. So they've done that for now, but I think it's not enough for them. It's not enough. Behind the scenes, there needs to come up a serious team, whether it's going to be a disciplinary team or a welfare team that is going to look into Prince Andrew's issue amicably to see how they can support him. And also, I think they need to reach out to everybody who has not sat well with Andrew and see how the royal family can resolve these things outside of the media so it stops things from escalating. Now, the royal family obviously needs to take them off the royal family website because that doesn't help. Such work needs to happen when these people are invisible. So they are invisible from the royal family website. Nobody is checking in to constantly humiliate the royal family in a way of, look, they are still sitting on the royal family website. Like, they are very nasty. How dare them sit there when they've done all of these things. So get them off the royal family website. Okay, pretend in the face of everybody else, they are not visible, they are not working for the royal family, they are behind the scenes getting all the help and need that they need to. Okay.
Well, I tell you something. I had a really interesting comment from someone who's quite historically literate about the royals, and um, on my last video, and I replied to it, and she brought up that the royal family have survived all these scandals. They survived the war. They survived Wallace and Mr. Simpson, Edward and Mr. Simpson. They survived Diana. They survived. They survived. They survived. And my argument was, is because I know you saw my last video. My argument is in this quick time response from social media, and I'm going to give you a real example of this, that you can be misrepresented, or as in the case of a dishonest actor like Meghan, they can get their trolls out and really go to town on you before you can go to the press and get your story straight, right? I saw an article on, it was Sky News Australia on Twitter yesterday morning, and it said, I was going to say the Lord, the King, the King will be speaking. The King will be speaking to the Commonwealth. Okay, so that is quite correct. Technically, that is right. He will be speaking to the Commonwealth this coming Friday, and it made it sound like that he was responding to Grenada becoming, well, they haven't become a republic, but they've done away with the oath of loyalty to the crown, right? They
That's
made it
right.
sound like that. Now, underneath was, ah, yeah, oh, it was just all of this drama. This is what you get, right? This is what you get online. But then when you open the article, the headline from Sky News, like the tweet, was very different to the story in the headline. The story in the headline was the King is going to be giving an audio speech to veterans celebrating VJ Day. It was a totally different story. So to come back, because I've been thinking about, because it was a very thoughtful comment she put up. I pinned it up on, I didn't agree with everything she said, but I pinned it because we have to look at what we're dealing with today. We're dealing in a really fast-paced news environment where if you don't capture the headline online pretty quickly, you're basically screwed. You know,
Mm,
that negative story takes over. And we saw it in the Caribbean when Catherine and William were there. That was all a dishonest playoff.
mm.
And I just, I think, I don't know, it was something you said that brought me to this point. Help me, Francis. But I suppose, oh, I know what I was saying. Yeah, you can't just let these stories roll on. The royal
Mm.
family, they do everything by symbolism, right? But these stories, these negative stories just roll on.
Yes, they
And
are rolling on. That's what I
yes,
was saying. The royal family
that's
needs
what it was.
to,
Yeah.
yes, it needs somehow to find some of these media channels, and especially those that have constantly put these stories out there, and find a way of stopping that from happening, negotiate behind the scenes and say, listen, we are dealing with the image of the royal family, and so just give these stories a bit of a break, okay, while we get things resolved. They can afford to do that behind the scenes. We've seen it happen in the past. So the royal family needs to really jump in and show some support behind these individuals, especially Prince Andrew, because he hasn't done anything against the royal family. He's been grounded. He's done what he has, but he's still very loyal to the king, to everyone in
Mm,
the royal family. He hasn't written any books throwing everyone under the bus and all that sort of thing. So I think the royal family needs to find a way of supporting him behind the scenes to sort of eliminate these stories somehow and start his process of rehabilitation behind the scenes. While they do that, obviously, get him off the royal family website. I think that's the right thing to do because then he won't be drawing any attention. These media agencies and channels are writing about Andrew because they know he's sitting on the royal family website. That alone is giving them the ammunition to say, right, let's shoot this one who is on the royal family website. It is going to gain traction. Okay.
it's a lightning rod, isn't it?
Hmm.
It's a
So
lightning rod for the royal critics.
yeah, absolutely. So that's what I think should be happening because these controversies, Andrew, Harry, are really, really playing with the popularity of the royal family in very, very negative ways. We are having, you've just talked about it actually. Um, Grenada, not including King Charles in their
Mm,
allegiance, oath of allegiances. Now they've just got rid of, swearing to the king, his predecessors, and including the future king and queen. So they've literally sort of started their process of pulling away, which is not what we want to see because the union as it is, the commonwealth
yes,
still survives strongly on these countries being part of it.
yes.
So whenever,
Well, I think it's actually quite. I think it's a troubling sign. I don't. The king won't be. He'll be troubled by it because they didn't have a referendum like they did in the
Hi.
past. Hi,
mm,
beautiful. How are you?
Good. I'm just doing my laundry so I could stay around an hour and
Oh,
okay,
then
okay. Yeah.
my
that's
laundry will be
exactly the
done.
time of God. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
So,
So you have found us right in the middle of it, Aspi. I
yeah, it's
hope.
what's going on.
Yes. So I hope you know where we are. We are talking about this Prince Andrew
Oh, that. Okay.
for the royal family, and,
All
and
that.
I'm
That's
thinking, I'm thinking Andrew and Fergie are looking
yeah.
quite bad, both of them.
Yes,
Not
yes,
good.
yeah, not good. And
Not good at all.
how these controversies of theirs is really not helping the royal family in
It's
the
like,
long.
an Achilles heel. It's like, right when you're getting out of trouble, having things clear, they get sucked back in with Andrew and Fergie's mess. Their history, not mess, like history. Their history of, their shenanigans.
Now, Lisa says that here in the United States, majority of news networks have become just propaganda channels. Do you agree with that aspect?
To a certain extent, yes, especially like during elections.
Yes.
Like, for example, CNN, this is just my personal opinion, is always, they side the Democrats no matter what they do. That's an example. And Fox sometimes can be like only side with Republican. I miss the old days that it was neutral. Like in the United States, we had like Peter Jennings on ABC News. I used to love Peter Jennings. I wish people like that were on. He was like from the 80s and the 90s and early 2000s, Peter Jennings. Even like old CNN, that it was just news. It was neutral. You just reported on the news. And not
with
taking
no
one
twists.
particular side.
Yes, with no twists, no clickbaits, no nothing. Catherine touched this a little earlier, saying that there was this story, the headline was different, and the story itself was different as well.
Yeah, they were two different. That Sky News put a tweet out.
Yes.
But you look at the reporter that wrote the article, was a lifestyle reporter, right?
Okay.
So the tweet was different to the headline, and he was implying that the king is responding to Grenada because the king is going to be addressing the Commonwealth this coming Friday. And,
now, Catherine, in the UK, I know a little bit about like Sky News, BBC.
yeah.
I know Sky is more pro monarchy and BBC is more liberal. I mean, which is which in the UK?
Well, in Australia, I've seen some shifts, but it's predominantly in favour of the royal family. But it's a Murdoch network, and Murdoch hates royals. So we get pretty good coverage of, but sometimes, I mean, this is why lives can be quite good and they can be quite dynamic. Sometimes it just sounds like, a little bit of a knitting circle and spilling the tea in a knitting circle with these three regular women. They're reporters and they're very well established. I don't wish to, but I think the format needs shaking up a little bit, And then they tried to get a new face on. He's a young guy. And again, I think it's the wrong format for him, So what I'm saying is they may be supportive of the Royals, but their formatting is not helping them. But
are they more like tabloids or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they are center right. But it's, when I say center right, there is still like it's center right. It's more center than right. So I don't mind Sky News, but it is tabloid. The ABC in Australia is anti-monarchist. They got slammed for their coverage of the coronation.
But I think like with the United States, it's like Democrats versus Republican, while in the UK, it's the Prime Minister, which is the Tories, and what's the other party? I forgot the other party. The
Labour
UK,
Party.
the Labour Party. That's kind of like
Tories.
separate from the monarchy in a sense, a little bit. While in the US, it's like Democrat or Republican, whoever's in the White House elected.
So
people take sides.
Here in the UK, so the BBC, the Sky News, these are usually in support of the royal family.
Okay.
And they, of course, have to, because they all want passes and, press passes to come and, attend royal events and do their filmings and stuff like that. So they are usually pretty close. And that's why there's so much criticism for the BBC when they air interviews like that one of Prince Harry, which was criticizing his father for allegedly stepping his case and also the BBC was under very intense, scrutiny and all of that stuff for airing the Princess Diana interview and stuff like that, when these are meant to be national state sort of pro channels.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Sky News, BBC, I should say those ones are in a way very aligned to the royal family. They support the royal family activity.
Now, are they part of the Royal Rota, BBC and Sky News, like their reporters? The Royal Rota.
Yes. So they should have, what is it called? Naturally, when you get a press pass to attend royal events or report on, they have a program of who will be stepping out here and all of that stuff. The royal family themselves have their own press people they travel with everywhere. But of course, you have the BBC, you have the Sky News behind the scenes who are following on closely these royal events. So you would find them lining outside the St. Paul's Cathedral, for example, or Westminster Abbey, waiting for Catherine to arrive for the Christmas carol service. So they have these events on their good to go. Yeah. I applied for a press pass. Fingers crossed. It can take up to 6 months. Yeah.
How long? I'm sorry, Francis. How long does it take?
It could take up to 6 months to a year.
Okay. All right.
To get granted.
That would be great if you can get a press pass.
If I can get that, so then that would enable me to air some of these activities live, like you see.
Well, I'll keep that in prayer that you'll get a press pass.
Yes, yeah.
How long ago did you apply, Francis?
About a month and a half.
Okay.
Ago.
All right.
Yes.
And
So
who gives you the okay for that?
Yeah, so you apply through the royal the communications, the royal household communications team.
Right.
And so
I know Brittany from Royal News Network, she's gotten passes before for different events, royal events. So, yeah.
So let's wait and see. So
hopefully, keep fingers crossed. You'll get a pass.
The vetting is very intense, but they look at your channel, they look at what sort of content you share, and the size of your audience matters a lot as well. But as well as that, you as an individual, do you have any security threats?
I see. They look at your legal background and security clearance. That makes sense.
Yeah, because they can't just let you into close proximity of these people when you.
Well, I know. Not even being a reporter, just to visit the White House now. If let's say I wanted to visit the White House, I have to contact my local congressman or senator.
Yes.
And then they have to do a background check on me. And they have to give the okay before I could even step a foot into the White House now. So that's just, I'm just a person. Imagine a reporter having to be near the royal family or the president or prime minister.
Yes.
You have to check
your
background.
But this issue of Grenada, I know before we finish, we go off this piece of news rather. Grenada omitting King Charles, his predecessors, from their oath of allegiance is obviously, for me, a big blow to the king, because it is more like they are saying we don't see any use of the king. Why should we? Who is he?
But do they want to be still a part of the Commonwealth, or they just want to break away?
Yeah, no, they're still a Commonwealth.
So they do. They think they can still do some trade partnerships. Even they are not necessarily.
But they don't want the king as head of state.
But they don't want the king as.
I get you. Okay.
But they still have a Governor General. The Governor General represents the king, so they still have the Governor General. It seems a bit This is the problem when you start messing around with something that's been working. This is why the Republican Party in Australia hasn't been very successful, because they can't agree on a model. Every time they bring the conversation up, it just looks like a dog's breakfast. It's just messy. You know, so they've
Yeah.
got,
That's
they've
funny.
still got the Governor General there, but the Governor General represents the monarch. So,
Yeah.
and they are still saying an oath of allegiance, but it's to the soil of Grenada. I mean, it just seems a little bit sloppy. Whereas when you stay within a constitutional structure, it's just that form is what people look for. Now,
The
I did
respect.
a lot of, yeah, well, I did a lot of reading, and I was glad to see you cover it, Francis, because the king won't be happy about this, not at all.
He won't be happy about it.
No,
This has been in traditions, swear the oath of allegiance to the king, to the queen, their predecessors,
yeah,
officers. It's more like in the British Army, when you join, any soldier will tell you, we hold that book and swear an oath of allegiance, to the queen. So I swore to the queen at the time because she was the monarch at the time. But every single one of us does that. Now, if they say that we are going to get rid of swearing the oath of allegiance to the queen or king, and we just say oath of allegiance to the British government, or like that, and remove that word king, queen, everything loses prestige. It
Now,
does.
what is their reason behind wanting to not have the king as head of state anymore? Did they give any specific reasons for that?
Well, yes, I was reading an article, and what's his name? That their prime minister who did that. Is it Mitchell
that's
Deacon?
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
Dickens.
Dickens. Yeah. So he
Yeah.
says, I see no point why I should swear, or my officers should swear an allegiance to oath of allegiance to King Charles, who is not here. Who is here? Who is he? Obviously the whole world knows King Charles. Everybody knows. But the way he put it to me sounded like ego. So you have leaders who have an ego, and they think, yes, they
Well, it's
think
like the leader of
it's fine.
Jamaica too. He's been
He
making
gave no
comments for years.
specific reason. So he said, the other thing he said is that because we were colonized by the British government, those days have since gone now. These are new times. We are now serving the Grenada people of Grenada. We are not serving the king or United Kingdom. So why should we swear an oath of allegiance to somebody we are not serving here? And so that is what they said. So for me, I'm looking at it as a big blow, obviously, to the king, because traditions here are being sabotaged. And also, this could then start to pave way for their process of pulling away, completely, because now they've got rid of King Charles, his predecessors, and now they are swearing an oath of allegiance to the Grenadian people. Then, so where does the royal family come into that picture in the long run?
Now, Francis, what do the people of Grenada think? Have they taken any polls?
No, they didn't have
No.
a referenda. They've had referendums in the past. They just did it. The government just executed
Without a vote.
Yeah.
Yes, here. So it could be the
ridiculous.
Grenadians. It will be interesting to hear what they think about that move.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They could have censored anybody from speaking out about this, and it's the prime minister who we are taking the prime minister's word as if he's representing everybody else. But I really think people in Grenada are not welcoming this idea at all. Grenada really, really benefits from the union, and it's one of the countries that has still got nearly 3/4 of its budget funded through borrowing. Okay, so
Mm.
it's not stable at all. Their economy is in tatters, and
Mm.
the British government, is funding them, significantly. And so, if you then don't want King Charles to appear in your oath of allegiance, isn't this going to damage your chances of securing that borrowing and loans? And because
Mm.
usually, if you're under the Commonwealth, the King, the Queen, somewhere is in the mix in your constitution. This gives you a bit of currency, okay? It gives you currency, and other people, other countries, borrowers then start to look at you as, okay, if we don't borrow them, maybe the King or United Kingdom or the Commonwealth will think we are being mean with these countries, let's borrow. So although it doesn't come with a cash prize, mentioning the king, in their oath of allegiance, but it brings that bit of pride, prestige for the country, that other countries can start to look at Grenada as a country that belongs to this establishment here, and therefore favors start coming in. So I don't know if they thought about it properly before.
No, I think it's a mistake. Not because I'm a monarchist, but because they need something bigger than themselves to belong to, because they're so small. They're a small country. I think it's huge, but it's it's at the behest of one individual, which is the Prime Minister, which obviously is going to get his men around him. I think, in my view, I think it's a big mistake, and it was a big mistake not to consult the public.
Yeah, big mistake. Looking at all the countries around, Jamaica, which one is the other one? Belize, there's another one there, Trinidad,
Yeah.
St. Lucia. There are countries around there. Their economies are all not doing very well.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Jamaica wanted to pull away. Belize showed signs. Their economies are not really, really good for those countries to be 100% independent of themselves. They need union, they need the commonwealth, even for purposes of security. Because if you're swearing an oath of allegiance to the king, if you are attacked as a country, surely the United Kingdom or the Commonwealth will be able to run quickly to your rescue, because yes, you are swearing allegiance to the. So it has a security incentive attached to it, So these are the benefits that they are throwing away. So I think these are just egos. These are naive leaders who don't truly understand the foundations of the countries that they are being made leaders. Right. But putting that story aside now, I think we've exhausted it. we've come to a conclusion that it wasn't a good idea for them.
It's a bigger story than it looks.
Yes.
Because it's an indication of a trend. It just is a bigger story, because that happened on the 1st of August, which is their day of independence or something. So we're already into May, and we're only talking about it now. It's a story that we really need to keep an eye on, because what you just said there about you'd be interested to see how Canada will respond. Yeah, we just got to keep an eye on the Commonwealth, really.
Yeah, so let's see what happens. What's the mood like in United States, SP? Are people talking about this story at all?
No, I mean, it was on the news feed, like the Google, AOL, Yahoo news feed. But did I see it on the actual TV news? No, I didn't. I didn't see that. It's more like online. You see it.
Yeah.
So, all the stuff going on here, it's like, okay, just another world news story. That's how they see it. So,
And then another story, putting that to one side, there is this story about the Charity Commission here in the United Kingdom and its conclusions about Harry not being a bully and a big elephant in the room, as the charity chair, Sophie, had claimed in her allegations. So the charity says we found no evidence to suggest that Harry is. So there might be elements of, bad leadership, yes, but the evidence we are having here does not suggest any bullying on the side of Harry. So you, as the charity chair and the trustees, have to sort this out. I think you guys are the problem. And that way Prince Harry was cleared. Where does this leave?
I have to say this is allegedly, obviously, but I wouldn't be surprised if his father told the charity kind of lay off him, because I'm sure there's people involved in the charity that know the crown, they know the monarchy, people in the monarchy. So it looks like Harry is kind of getting away with something again, but not also because people, they know that stuff went on behind the scenes. It still doesn't look good on his part, what happened at all. These bullying allegations. There's been other allegations with both of them, Harry and Meghan too. So it's like, just another allegation to add to the pile of allegations. That's been against him with bullying.
He's just obnoxious. His response lacks any elegance. It doesn't have any polish. There's nothing about his reaction. It's all about him. I'm just reading. This is in the US.
I'm a victim. Yeah, I'm a victim. Yeah.
He's left. The Duke is reportedly emotionally shattered by the events that unfolded in the ballroom. He's shattered. He's bludgeoned. Get out of town. It's not about you. And that's in a US. That's the Mirror in the US.
Well, also, Catherine, he was used to people when he was in the royal family, working royal. He was used to people just giving him, I guess, a speech or something, what to say. He's not used to saying things on his own. I mean, yes, he has publicists. I don't think they're personally doing a great job. That's my personal opinion. But, he's not used to having his own thoughts. I should say allegedly, but that's just how I feel.
Well, I think you're right. He doesn't know how to think for himself. He hasn't he's got no social awareness. He's got no emotional intelligence. He's either stoned or he's fuming. There's only two speeds with him. He's stopped at the traffic lights or he's going 100 miles an hour. So I just can't believe. Yeah, I can't believe he's. I'll tell you, I heard something this morning during the night. I was awake for a little bit, and I just turned something on, and there's an entertainer. Apparently, he's deceased now, and I can't for the life of me remember his name. And he was doing an event in the UK at some ambassador's residence or something, and he was really knackered. He was really shot from traveling, jet lag. And Harry was there, and he was talking to him. Harry punched him in the face, and he said, "Here, does that help?"
That's the guy from the Foo Fighters, the drummer.
That's it. And can you believe he?
Yeah.
What sort of a response is that?
His name was Taylor something. Taylor something. Yeah.
Yeah. Why not offer him some cold ice water to throw on his face? His first reaction to everything is to punch his way through. And that's what he's doing in the PR with Cindy Barley.
I remember him telling that story on the Howard Stern show. He told the story.
It's not really sitting well at all.
No, it's not.
This pampering by the Charity Commission is not helping him at all. I thought this was the moment for Harry to get that good check-in with himself.
There's no
because
self-awareness. There
there's
really
no
isn't.
other, yes, there's no other good chance they would have got him properly to sit him down than the chance
No.
they had got with this lady here, Sophie Chanduka, raising this issue publicly about him. Now, I don't know anybody else who will be able to do that, because every time we have high profile people like Sophie Chanduka has been come through and do something like that, and they are not listened to, everybody else will then say, if they didn't take Sophie seriously, who are we? Will they take us
But
seriously?
Francis, it's part of still the
So
enabling behavior of,
that's
I
what
have
I'm
to
saying.
say, like,
Exactly. So they
allegedly, it could be the crown, it could be allegedly the king, it could
mm,
be charity people that Prince Harry is friends with, it could be like a
mm,
whole number of things, but
mm,
it's just,
yeah.
just
And
letting him slide.
obviously, mm, and so the charity, you make a good point here, because obviously charity commission is responsible for monitoring activities of charity. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
establishment which very much sits within the structures of the government, and the king would very much be high up in those structures, and
Yeah.
anything like that comes from above where the king has signed. So somewhere, somehow, I don't think they would have said, yes, he's been a bully. Yes, we're gonna, because they've got to protect the image
Yeah, of course they do.
the royal family. They've got to protect Harry's image. Harry himself
Mm-hmm.
is still a royal. We often forget that.
But Francis,
He's a
also
royal.
remember the bullying report with Meghan. I think they've hit it not really because of her, but because he was bullying staff too. And they would make the family look bad. So it's like, let's not release
Let's release these
results
details.
of that report.
Yeah, which I'm saying is sad.
Yeah.
Which is sad, because Dr. Sophie now back at Centre Ballet is still maintaining this was very unfairly done, and they haven't done anything to resolve these issues. She's a very unhappy bunny.
Yeah.
And where is the charity going to be moving forward if you still have directors that are not happy with those above?
I wouldn't be surprised if that charity completely shuts
Collapses.
down.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, that's what Harry's not. There's no consideration given to the charity at all. This is something he helped establish. Granted, he was a patron. They've got a limited role, but such a high-profile patron can make or break a charity. But he's got no interest in the charity surviving. It's all about him. He's just he's thrown everything out of the pram, and he's throwing a tantrum. It's really appalling. It's just can you imagine if a scandal erupted and William had to step back from something? Could you? And even if he were badly represented, if he came out of it looking a little worse for wear, I'm not saying he was guilty, but you know how PR works. Sometimes people will smear you. He would still carry that forward with elegance and stature, but not Harry. It's just his behaviour is just so ghastly. I don't I understand it, but I'll tell you. What do you think of this idea, Aspie? Since you raised it, do you think perhaps the king is worried about Harry now that he's lost this charity? All he's got left is Invictus.
Could be.
Do you think? I'm not saying this would be the entire driver, because he is a member of the royal family, but would he be worried, thinking, his son's going to implode? Would that be a motivating factor?
Could be. I mean, he knows Harry better than anyone, obviously, being his father, and he knows his strengths and weaknesses and his moods. So I'm sure he knows if they take that from him, or if they take Invictus from him, he has nothing left, and he'll go completely rogue, and I don't know, maybe write a second spare, maybe do allegedly hurting himself. I don't know. Like, yes, I think he's behind the scenes. I think the King Charles
I agree.
protecting him.
I do agree with that. I think he's always been behind the scenes. The king has always had his thumb on the scale. That would be, even if it wasn't directly, there'd be, quiet messages going out that,
I know people may disagree with me. This is alleged, obviously, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gives them money behind the scenes too. I wouldn't be
believe he
surprised.
does.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. That's his son. That's the grandchildren. I just wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't.
I'm with you on that. I think that there's a lot more behind the
Going on.
scenes that we'll never see.
Yes.
But you can tell because that's the way the palace operates. They don't operate out in the open.
No, they
operate behind the scenes. Everything is smoke and mirrors.
But it's like almost like emotional blackmail.
Yeah.
I find it, his behavior, kind of, if I don't get this, then I'm going to do this. Meanwhile, his father is sick with cancer. He's not well, obviously, on chemo still. And you're like emotionally blackmailing your father. It's like disgusting. I think it's like emotional blackmail.
That's how they've chosen to drive their brand forward.
Yes.
With Meghan Markle, isn't it? They are, they're very much riding on controversies, on putting out statements.
And victimhood,
Victimhood. So we are going to see a lot of that continue. Because when they had stopped a little bit, their brand had sort of died down. Okay.
Well, so the brand with Meghan, that's dying down too. So nobody wants to buy her crap.
So they started off with Harry and Meghan Netflix show, which literally was riding on whinging. They did this to us. And so that got how many million views? 25 million views.
Yeah, because they're talking about the royal family. That's why.
Yes. They did their next one, which was theirs. No royal family. It's Harry playing.
Nobody cares.
And nobody watched.
Barely, except their extreme fans. Nobody cares.
Failed to make the top 300.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
They're boring.
So they've seen where their currency is. Their currency is in whinging, putting out statements, Harry coming on, going on live interviews and talking about how my father's done this and I don't like the way they treated my wife. This is how they're going to be riding on the. But you're very right, Aspi, by saying it's more like they're playing with the king's emotions.
Of course they are.
Because they know when we fathers, parents get to a certain age, not even getting to a certain age, parents, regardless of whether they are young or old, have that heart for their children, their kids, and I think kids know where to touch.
He's barely seen these children in person, these grandchildren.
Absolutely. So he knows what to do to get the king to soft to do this and that. And he's played on that. And so far, I think he has succeeded. Because after that book's pair and whatever was said about the king, the king's wife, I honestly thought there isn't going to be any line of communications there between Harry and the king until Harry pulls that book down. Camilla was mentioned in that book more than 60 times.
Yeah. Is that right? Wow.
Yes, exactly. And it wasn't nice. He said Camilla was,
dangerous,
leaking his stories to the media as a dangerous woman, and that is turned our dad against us, all of those things in that book. So I thought this was going to be enough for King Charles to say, right, nobody plays with my wife and gets away with it. But we still see nothing. We still see a king who is apparently wanting to see his child, his son, his grandkids, and we are more interested in the king saying we are going to put some disciplinary measures there, or we are going to close any lines of communication between you and us until you apologize, until you pull that book down, at least something substantive.
Or even take him off the royal website. I mean, something.
He's still sat on the royal family website, absolutely.
But like I think I've said before, Francis, because it's a tricky thing being a king and being a father. And especially he's sick, but at the same time, you're the king, you have duties to your country. And
there are moments you're gonna put your country first. I used to be a British, soldier, and they used to tell us country comes first, even if they can say your son is here dying tonight or whatever. And you're out in the battlefield, first finish that attack before you come back.
I mean, look what the late queen did with her sister Margaret. I can't, with her marrying Peter Townsend, I can't, approve of this. She loved her sister, but she put the crown first.
Put the crown first.
People are not, I guess a lot of people see the king doesn't do that with this case, with Harry, and it's going to hurt him.
Well, it doesn't project leadership.
No, it doesn't.
He's projecting weakness. He's projecting, that he can be emotionally blackmailed. It's not. Do you know when Edward went rogue and resigned to be with the woman he loved, Wallace Simpson, his mother adored him. He was the one. He would come in, and because I think he was quite a charming individual, and she would love his company. But when he did what he did, she just shut him out fully, completely. No daylight between the two. And that's what's missing here. We're not seeing that, because I don't think we're the only ones who believe that the king is operating behind the scenes to try and preserve some dignity with this ghastly runaway. That's why I don't think he's a reliable actor working on behalf of the British government. He can do some, like he gets up and he says stupid things, the First Amendment's bonkers. But he's so unreliable. You can't trust him. He's untrustworthy. He's explosive. He's unpredictable.
But I think, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, Catherine, but
go ahead.
I think with Harry, remember, like I had told you about the First Amendment being bonkers and him undermining the election. I personally think he was involved in that. I do. I mean, no, I think he was more on his own. He did that on Meghan's.
That's what
along with Meghan.
He was a lone wolf. That's how
I think it was like Meghan pulled him into that, and he's involved in like Aspen Institute. And I mean, I know people are like, oh, well, the king's involved with like, WEF and stuff like that. Okay. But I think specifically with Harry, I think he did that more on his own. I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's a loose cannon. He's a lone wolf, but he's still operating in a way that satisfies the UK, though. That's the truth of the matter,
Yeah. He's just like you said, making a fool of himself.
Yeah.
So we can only hope that maybe William, when he comes in, things will change a little bit. But like you said, Catherine, and I think for the last live stream we had, that it is going to be a lot that William will
definitely
sort out. Yes, and it is only, good for the king to sort out a few of those issues right now, i.e., bringing Prince Harry down to where he should be, and sorting this issue, because Harry and Prince Andrew have a real big issue.
Huge problems, both of them.
Yeah. So he needs to sort those ones out and not pass on that responsibility to Prince William.
I think he is going to buck it to him, though. I'm just,
Well, that's what
you know,
I think too.
because the king is
yeah.
sick. I think, and also William, he has to think about his father, who's
Mm.
not in good health.
Mm.
He's how old is King Charles now? 70,
70,
78,
75 now.
75.
Yeah.
Okay,
Camilla
you
is
know.
77. Camilla
Okay,
is
so
doing as,
his
yeah.
father has cancer. Then he has to
Mm.
think about his own wife, who
Mm.
just got over cancer. So he
Mm.
has those two things, and now also Andrew. Also, it's a lot. He's gonna
Mm.
have to deal with a lot of things.
He has to, but a lot of the because many people are seeing William stepping aside, is not saying anything at times, so he's
I don't
leaving
think that's true.
to his father because it is his father's reign. William doesn't want to come across as bypassing what his father should have done or should be able
Yeah.
to do. Because he's still a Prince of Wales. He sits beneath his father, so he has no say in matters to do with, disciplining people. He might offer advice, but he doesn't want to poke his nose so much into the activities of his father to a point where his father could start to look at William as growing in ego, because King Charles enjoys power. He loves his power. He loves to have what he needs. It's taken him how many years to get onto the throne? He's waited. So he can't come
Half
on
a century or more, yeah.
Yes, so this is his time to have fun. So I don't think he would like anybody to come and make decisions.
No.
On
No,
his
I agree.
he's
Yeah, I agree with
he
you,
likes being king.
Francis.
He likes being
Yeah,
king.
because I've been thinking about the
Mm.
possibility of William being a soft regent where he is brought in alongside the king, not to diminish the king in stature at all, but to be seen as he's in training, he will grow in stature. But I don't think the king could cope with that. I don't think his ego would allow
No.
him to share power with his son because they're already more popular. But you're right. The king likes the power, and I actually think that it's not an attractive quality either.
Because you remember there was some pressures before Queen Elizabeth, and some suggestions that they might skip King Charles and get to Prince William, and so there could be a possibility, but I wasn't seeing that possibility.
No,
Because
no.
King Charles was the longest Prince of Wales, king in waiting. He really wanted to sit on that chair and is now having a lot of fun. I think he's done really well. We support him. And I still sit here and say all of us line up behind the king and see him through his reign.
Well, we
He
don't
took
have any
over.
choice. He's the monarch,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Yeah.
And
That's the way it works.
this Prince Harry thing issue started during the Queen's reign. The Queen was very lucky that this came right at the very end of her reign. So we could say Charles was very unlucky to inherit.
Well, the Queen went
the
through a
throne
lot
at that-
too in the 1990s with Diana.
Yeah,
3 or 4 children got divorced, and then
Yeah.
Diana, was killed in the car accident. That whole
Mm.
situation, that was
And
a lot.
that was just a
Winter
difficult
Castle
one.
burned down.
That was a lot. That
Yeah, she
was
dealt with a lot too.
Yes,
And
but
the
we could say
public
maybe at the
actually,
time. Yeah, could say at the
the
time
public,
we have.
I'm sorry, what were you
public
saying,
told
Catherine?
her, the public told her, because they were going to rebuild and renovate Buckingham Palace after the fire, and the public said, "No way, pay for it yourself." She was shocked by that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the public can only go so far. That's where I think that's the line that Charles walks. He's got two huge scandals. Just get rid
Yeah.
of one of them.
Mm. So for the king, I think the best thing to do is he doesn't need to do a lot. Just revise the website and get them off. Because once they are off, then it gives you the opportunity behind the scenes to deal with all the shenanigans.
He won't. I don't think he ever will. I'm just my
But
opinion, but
it
he won't.
doesn't seem like you're right. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen
He
now.
won't.
Whether this will happen for Prince William's reign, we can't
William
tell.
will do it. William will do it, but not him.
Because
That's just my opinion.
when they get into the throne, like we said, it's easier for us to think William will do it. But when he gets to that chair, he starts to see the complexities of these things. Yes. So because if you look at the line of succession, so Harry's there, the children are also there. So you remove Harry from the website, it means you have to take the children off, because when Harry comes down the family website, he comes down with all the other tree that sits under him, so they all sit down, because you can't have the children there and their father is missing out on that box.
But
Because
you
that
know
will
what,
again
Francis?
raise
Those
more
children
issues.
are American now. They're so they're American to me,
They
and
are,
I'm
but they're
American. They have
sitting on there.
no connection
Okay.
to their royal heritage and their British heritage.
That's
They're like
why
American kids.
they are, but they are sitting on that
They
ground
are
based on the fact that Harry, who is one in line of succession, is their father.
right,
So
but
they're sitting there.
yeah. But
So
they
it's a
just
very
don't have a
complex.
connection with there.
It's a very complex one,
Yeah.
and
It's a
it
good point
is
you make, though.
yes, and it's going to take a very difficult decision. This is something to do. It will be one of the most difficult decisions they have done, and people will applaud whoever will do it.
Yeah.
For doing it.
You know what, Francis? I think like they should do what I think Sweden, or I think it's Sweden or Denmark. What they do is that I think it's Sweden. If
Yes.
you want to be in the line of succession, you have
You
to
need
live
to
in
be here.
Sweden and be
Yeah.
educated in Sweden.
Yeah.
They should pass something like that in the UK. If you want to stay in the line of succession, you have to live here, and your children have to be educated here. That would be, to me, a good solution. In the future, something like that be passed.
I'm pretty sure that we have insiders who are looking at all of these options and
Yeah.
see which one to take, which principles to apply. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So let's hope that they are really working out a solution which is going to be long term, because these questions are going to be raised constantly, and once people raise these issues constantly, then it leads to the loss of trust, popularity goes down the road. I mean, King Charles is now sitting outside of the top 3 most senior royals. I think he comes in at 62. So we have William, Catherine, and Princess. So the king, usually in history, always has been sitting above in popularity. We've seen this with Queen Elizabeth. Harry only wanted to surpass Queen Elizabeth as the most popular royal, but that was because Harry was still a young lad. He was connecting with the young females who were all over him, and so that's where all the popularity came, and his cockiness with the comedies and fun tricks he used to play with the Queen. But as he grew, people started to look through him and really saw that. Okay.
I don't trust that poll, because the poll was one that came out earlier from YouGov, and it was not promising. And then they released, and I think it was Rebecca English wrote an article about it, said overall that everyone's doing well, but there are some areas for concern. Now, she's actually a mouthpiece for the palace. And this has all come out when things are quiet. I don't trust these latest polls, I'm telling you now. And I think that it confused me at first, but one of the things I always remember with the polls, it's YouGov, so it's a government operation. It's led by the government. So whenever I see something that's sort of not stacking up, um, I just think, yeah. At the end of the day, it's still a government run poll. So I'm not convinced, because I'm telling you, and you two would see it. You guys are online as much as me. The king online is not supported. He just doesn't have the support, and it really shocks me. And people, guys in the military, are putting up videos slamming the king.
I've seen it.
These are men that don't normally criticize the monarch because they're in the military. There's like there's a handful of retired military guys putting up videos criticizing the king, and it's just not done in the military. That's how bad it is. So I think the king is being propped up. Let's ask ourselves this question: what would it be if he wasn't sick?
Oh, yeah.
What would the support be? Because no one wants to criticize someone who's sick. No one wants to. I feel uncomfortable doing it myself. No, we don't know. Harry alluded to it. Oh, we don't know how long my father's got to live, which was honestly was astonishing that he went there.
I was shocked when he said that in the interview. I was like, well, can't believe he's saying that.
So I'm going with the first YouGov poll that came out, because online there's just a real shift, and it's what's happening is there's a demographic change going on in the UK, and there's a brain drain going on. A lot of millionaires are leaving the country because they're too highly taxed. They're bringing their businesses with them. What are they going to have left? So people are looking to the king for some leadership, but they know that he can't interfere in government policy. But when it suits him, he does speak politically. So I've said all that to say, Francis, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I question it. I really question it, because what's going on in the UK at the moment is so disturbing. It's and the king just seems to be going along. He's of his generation. He's going along like nothing's changing. He's going along like nothing's happened.
Yeah.
It's strange. It's like I just go like that with news reports. I think,
Well, William says he said to that report. I think, was it released through which media? Was it the Daily Mail, where William says that he is going to do things differently? So he was hinting at all of these things he is saying. He's probably saying everything that is going on. But like we see, he's the Prince of Wales. He's not the king yet, so he can't interfere. He will let his father. Yes, he will let his father pan out his processes.
Francis, I don't mean to interrupt you, but also I always remember this. William is Diana's son, and there's always this being sentimental about the late Diana, Princess of Wales, and that William is kind of like that's her son. So obviously, people who love Diana will obviously always have a special love for William. A lot of those people, So I think when he comes on the throne, that love will carry over. So that's different with Charles, because they divorced, and what happened with that.
You make a very good point there. You do. But I was just looking at that report, where William says he's gonna be doing things differently. He has started his own modern version of this king, taking selfies with fans, being more transparent, and he's now almost doing TikTok videos with people out on engagement. So he's more of he's so much in love with the public, and is very forthcoming with,
Yeah.
showing us
Mm.
either non-verbally that he's not happy with how things are going. He did the same when they asked him about the royal family being racist, and he says we are not family. So he responded to that question. He's nominating people to work for him who have in the past brought allegations against his brother, so he's bringing them back. So you can see he is assembling a team that
Yeah.
has talked about things that they don't like seeing happen within the royal household. These are the people he's bringing back. So it's clearly showing that he is very different from the structure that he's in right now. And when he comes into that hot seat, I think he's going to be somebody who will make some really good but difficult decisions.
Yeah.
He's going to have
You're
to.
right. He'll be a lot more transparent, and I think that's what the public are calling out for. They're calling out. They like the symbolism, they like the language of the monarchy, but they're looking for a little more transparency, because when the reports, financial accounts were opened, I think it happens in June, and there were some concerns over a few areas. Well, William's already starting to address that. With in the Duchy of Cornwall, he's addressing a few things. You can't expect a 1,000-year-old institution to change on a dime. It'll happen slowly. But I think you're right about William. I think he's going to be a very different monarch. He listens.
He listens.
Even with his Earth shot, people are very quick to criticise anyone that goes on about climate change. But you notice there's a different tone. I was pleased to hear this, a different tone with William. He doesn't say don't travel. He doesn't say don't take it. He says if you want to go on holiday, there are actually some sound ways that you can travel where you can minimize your footprint, which is what people want to hear. People don't want to be told.
Well, he doesn't lecture. He gives
No.
advice, but he doesn't lecture like these, radical environmentalists that don't want us to fly at all anymore. And,
So we are
just lecture.
extremely lucky, and I should say the monarch is also lucky that he's got someone like William coming in his footsteps, because he can then, I think, rely on William to put things right when that time comes. And so I think for the king right now is more interested in his health. Anything that is going to be stressful, he doesn't want that, so he goes the easier way out. If Harry's crying about this, crying a river about that, says okay, behind
Crying a river.
behind the scenes, behind the scenes, have that plate of pineapples or watermelon and cool down a little bit. Everything will be all right. He doesn't want anything very stressful. And I really get it, because maybe his doctors have advised him to take these steps.
Yeah.
And scale back a bit. But we are hopeful that for as long as we still have a monarchy in place and William and Catherine are coming through the processes, I think things will be overturned, and the royal family will get back into the heydays like we had with Queen Elizabeth. I think with Catherine as the queen, things are going to be great.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we have these two who are now way up there in terms of popularity. And Catherine, Princess of Wales, is genuinely loved by so many people. I think when she sits on that throne, the support that is there for the royal family is going to triple.
As an American, Americans, they love William and Catherine.
Yeah.
I see what they are really respected.
Yes.
For them. And they love the kids too.
Absolutely. Wait and see the people who are going to turn up on William and Catherine's coronation.
Well, I'll be there.
I think everybody I already know people from Africa, Nigeria, Cameroon who
I'll
are
come.
already saving up money in their bank to
Oh
have
yeah.
enough to
Yep.
travel here to see the
Yeah.
crowning of
Yeah.
William and Catherine. Okay.
Well,
It
Francis,
is.
when that happens, you know I'll be there no matter what. So
Oh yes, yes. It starts from you.
yep.
You're gonna be here. So
Yes, I will come.
I just can you imagine William and Catherine? Remember when they were crowning King Charles and Camilla there with their. Can you imagine William with that and Catherine with that there? How electrifying
It'll be a beautiful day.
it's going to be.
Electrifying is the right word, Francis. It is going to be
Exactly.
an electrifying moment, because what the polls do show is consistently, it doesn't matter whether it's YouGov or Ipsos, is the younger generation have no interest in the royal
Yeah.
family. To support is like about 29%,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But you've got these 3 Wales children coming up,
Oh,
and
Yes.
they are going to
yeah.
appeal to that
Be-
younger generation. So there's a lot there. There's a lot there to be hopeful about.
That day is not actually just going to be about William and Catherine. We are
No.
going to have Prince George elevated to
Yeah.
the Prince of Wales. Okay. And we are going to have
Charlotte
Charlotte become the Princess Royal. Those
Oh my
are
God.
and
key
Louis.
positions within the royal family. That is super elevation. So the
Mm.
4 of them on that day will be swearing an oath of allegiance
Yep.
to William and Catherine. So you're having William and Catherine's fans, and you're having fans of Prince George. Prince George, by the way, has got fans double what
Yeah.
Meghan Markle has.
Francis.
Yeah.
Francis, just a comment. Lisa says Prince Louis is my favorite. Lisa,
Not forgetting Prince Louis. Okay.
I love Prince Louis also.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for him too, Lisa.
Yeah. Lisa, hello. We've actually forgotten to go through some of the comments. Lisa says the concept of travellers are ridiculous. Those planes, yes. So brings us
It's
back
true.
to the environmental issues we were talking about. You know, Harry talking about travellers, but
It's a
then
vanity project.
yeah, then again, him flying
Doesn't
on
mean anything.
private jets. How many times did he fly out just in this year? We can't even.
Multiple times, I'm sure.
We can't even. Yeah.
Multiple times.
And
Him
he's
and
not
Meghan,
a
both of them.
working
He's so
royal.
tone deaf.
Hypocrites.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hypocrites, both of them.
So yeah. So can you imagine what that day will look like? We still have memories of William and Catherine's wedding. Now the coronation is going to be 3 times more than what it was. Okay. So it is going to be great times for the royal family. Everybody's looking at those times as the ones that are going to bring back the royal family to is supposed to be. The times we are in right now are the challenging times. If we can get over these times, we will be all right.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to line up behind King Charles to see him through this successfully. Because if it doesn't go through, there isn't going to be a William and Catherine.
True.
We really need to see him go through this, finish his reign, and we put it down as okay, it was an unpopular reign, but it managed to carry that transition because this period is as important as William and Catherine being crowned.
Francis, I think the young generation is. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Catherine. Go ahead.
No, proceed. Yeah, go on.
I was saying that the young generation is important. I look as an example in Spain now. Princess Leonor, she's very popular now. The Spanish monarchy has become more popular now ever since her dad came on, and now she's in military training now. I think she's like 19 or 20 years old now, and she's very popular. So I'm thinking, like, you know, when William becomes king, you know, Prince George and the siblings, they'll be teenagers at least.
Yeah.
And it'll be very popular. kids can relate to them more, like younger people.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And this is why I think those are going to be heydays, because you have
Yes.
William and Catherine as king and queen. You have Prince George, who's the Prince of Wales, popular with his mass of fans. Okay.
Yes.
And you have Princess Charlotte, who is actually being constantly put down as the poshest royal girl out there. She is the 1 billion princess, very admired and adored by very many people. Or Princess Charlotte. I recently posted up this video on Instagram of Princess Charlotte out on that first trip. Was it to Canada or to United States, where Princess Charlotte was 2 years and the tantrums, and she sat down, and then Catherine carried her. George was, I think, 4. That video has gone viral on my Instagram, which is very telling of how Princess Charlotte is popular. So all of this, when Louis steps out, it's fireworks. Everybody Louis, all the media agencies Louis, everybody Louis.
Oh, everyone loves Louis.
William and Catherine out up there as king and queen, and their family, their children coming into that limelight on the day in their very special positions. Prince of Wales, Princess Royal. Charlotte is going to be assuming the highest position of the princess in the royal family, becoming the Princess Royal. It's the 3rd most prestigious royal title.
Now, Francis,
And
a question
especially-
with that. Does she automatically become Princess Royal when her dad becomes king, or does the king have to give her that title?
So that's a very good question that I'll have to actually find out, because usually under the monarchy system, the king first has to die or pass away before another one comes in. Now, I don't know how it is with Princess Royal, because we shall have Princess Anne still there, who is the princess.
I love Princess Anne, yeah.
Yeah, so when the William and Catherine steps in, obviously the king's sister becomes the Princess Royal. Oh no, the king's sister. So I think Charlotte will not yet be until George becomes the king.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Charlotte becomes the Princess Royal then, because the Princess Royal is the brother to the sitting monarch.
Okay.
So Charlotte will not be just yet, but she's still in those ranks to become the Princess Royal. But George will definitely step into the Prince of Wales, because his father then is elevated to the king, and then the king in waiting becomes the Prince of Wales. Okay, and I think he's gonna be the youngest Prince of Wales. You know, if if the king.
I think that, when she went out with her, Charlotte accompanied her father to the women's soccer, wasn't it? I just had this really, because they seem to be rolling them out together, so they're going to be supporting each other as they mature and grow into their roles. But it felt like the future had arrived, and it was a little bit startling, because we were hanging out for it, and then it's like all children, they go through a growth spurt, and one day you go, what happened? So it felt a bit like that, wow, the future is here. And that was Harry's greatest fear, was the children growing up and supplanting him. But he didn't need any help from them. He did it all by himself.
The future is really looking very bright.
Yes, it does.
Here, those young children, they're going to be such a shot in the arm for the royal family.
Oh, and the thing is, they are going to be very different from Harry, because of how they have been raised by Catherine.
Yeah.
She has really raised those kids in the way they should. Very respectful. Look at how George, Charlotte, look at how they behave out with it. Even Louis, at that age, attending these events where cameras are on them, but they choose to do what they are out there to do on the day. Okay, so
They're
Catherine,
adorable.
yeah, very adorable. The Queen and Prince Philip, who was the Queen's husband at the time, told Catherine, when you're out and about, never look at the cameras. Do what you are supposed to do. No matter how many cameras are in front of you, never make a mistake looking in the camera or at the cameras, because that will come across as, yes, here I am. You get exactly like we see Meghan Markle. A lot
Francis,
of
just Lisa has a comment, Francis, saying that wasn't Charles 13 when he became Prince of Wales?
Yes, he was. I think because the Queen was
5 when she
25.
was.
Yes, and Prince Charles was. Yeah, I will go back and check. He was pretty young at the time. Yes, so it might be around George. George right now is 12. Yes, so so maybe we don't want to put dates because.
No,
we know King Charles is still here to stay.
Yeah, no,
We don't want.
yeah. We don't want to kick him out.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not quite like that.
Yeah. But
I actually like Charles. I think there's something about him that's actually quite pleasant, quite nice, but he grinds my gears a little bit, That's all I'll say. Yeah.
There's good and bad with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
And you know what? King Charles has his
Queen
fun.
was like that.
And the Prince of Wales, King Charles, he was. I think he was so loved during when Queen Elizabeth was there more than he is now. The way I see. Because I don't know, was it because he became very supportive of his mother during those later years? I don't know if you noticed.
I did. I noticed it.
Yes, he was giving the Queen a hand, getting onto the steps in walking through to the Commonwealth gatherings and to give those speeches. You would see Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales, then holding on to his mother's hand, taking his mother to deliver that speech. So he was very helpful. And at one point, his ratings actually went really high in the 70s during the Queen's reign. But I think it is now. And the reason why his popularity has dipped, I think, is because of these issues. Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, him being seen as soft in dealing with them. But we understand the stage of life he is at right now. Plus his health, I think it's more advisable for him to take softer approaches, reconciliation, and he's being seen as a king who does not want to go down in the books as, he striked his son off the royal family website.
Well, no one does, do they?
Guys, I'm going to have to leave now. I have to get my laundry out of the dryer.
Yes. So why don't we first finish? We are finishing now. We are wrapping up now so that we have a good ending. Thank you so much, our dear friends in the comments.
Thank you.
You have been marvelous. Lisa, thank you for managing the comments. You have done exceptionally well tonight. And for every single one of you, our dear friends who are on this live stream, we thrive by your support. Thank you so much for staying with us this very late. We recognize Lillian Page. Thank you so much for the super.
Thank you, Lily.
Truly appreciate your input on these lives. Thank you so very much. Aspi, for putting together your time, dumping your laundry.
You're welcome.
Come and sit here.
The laundry can wait.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah, the laundry cares about the laundry.
That's great.
Lovely Catherine. Yes, lovely Catherine for making your time
very early
in the morning. Yes, and you come on here.
Thank you.
We can't be any more grateful than I am on this channel for every single one of you. Thank you so much. We have one live stream again coming in maybe Tuesday or so.
Okay, that sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Yes. And Aspi, any words of thought before we wrap this up?
No, we've covered so many things today. You know, so.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And obviously, Aspi is one of the sponsors of this channel. I would like to again say thank you, Aspi. You're still
You're
where
welcome.
your support is so appreciated.
You're
Catherine,
welcome.
please shout out your channel, inviting us to subscribe.
Yeah. A Royal Australian. I live in Sydney and I'm a 10-pound pom. So a Royal Australian. And yeah, I might see you over there. So I'm sort of really delighted with the people I'm meeting through Francis's channel, to be quite honest. People like Gatsby and Stedman and Lisa and Lily Page, so many regulars. It's really fantastic.
Deborah.
You run a great channel, Francis.
Thank you. Fox is not here today, but probably he will. Stedman was meant to be on. She's sorting out a few things. But every one of you, and those who haven't made it tonight, we have you guys at our hearts. Thank you so very much.
Okay.
Right, we'll let you go, Aspi.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
And we finish here, and I
Bye,
see you.
Aspi.
All right.
all
Bye.
again.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Francis. That was